Okay, everyone, we'll go ahead and get started with a statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions.
Yeah, this was a good old-fashioned butt whooping. It was one of those games where they stuck to their game plan. They ran their offense fluently. They got it from side to side. End of the shot clock, number 22 made some incredible shots. And they just ran their offense, man. They just did what they had to do to win the game, and everybody was unified. And I have a lot of respect for the program. Obviously, what happened last year to them, only winning 2 games all year and no games in conference, to come back this year locked and loaded with a new staff and new players, they did a phenomenal job. But I will say that I love my team, and I think we're going to really learn from this. All losses are losses.
Coach, you tied the game up at 25-25, and then they went on a run, and you guys never recovered at the end of the first half. What happened at the end of that run when they started their run that you weren't able to catch back up with them?
One-on-one ball and turnovers. You know, we talked about them swarming the ball. One of the things we do poorly is we get in too deep trying to make the play ourselves and not draw to kick to another guy. And we do it beautifully in practice, but it seems like when the game started, that's why we started doing like musical chairs. Guys that weren't doing it, we had to get them out and put another guy in. That's the first game we've had to do that because of the way that their style of defense was. They double teamed the post on the baseline. Every time you drove, you saw 3 numbers. The guy that was guarding you, 2 other guys that helped. And we had people open, but because of the way the defense came, they just weren't making that play. And I'll have to take the blame for that because we just have to be able to make that play, and that's all on me.
How much of your team's one-on-one play and turnovers tonight would you say is due to your group's youth, or and the fact that they're still getting used to each other?
I can't make any excuses because we know what to do. You know, we've been well versed in moving the ball from side to side. To answer your question, I just think it's just bad basketball overall from everybody, not just to you, just from everybody. You can't go one-on-one on this level. Teams load up, we understand that. And we just have to do it. I have to do a better job as a coach on getting it done the right way. In the games, we're getting it done in practice. But when the game starts, it kind of goes out of the window, and that reflects on me.
Coach, you said all losses aren't losses. Mm-hmm. What do you hope your team gains from tonight?
That everything has to be serious. That everything has to be together and not one-on-one. I mean, we tried that in the Virginia Tech game and kind of got away with it. And the way that Iowa State was playing, I saw that wasn't going to work. But I was pretty sure that we were going to get into the middle of the paint, kick it to an open teammate, and then get back out on the other side. And we just never did that all night. It was like I was in shock just watching that. We just kind of still tried to go one-on-one, 1 against 3.
And is there, considering how things happened last night, the other night, you guys only had 4 turnovers in that half, is it kind of frustrating that it seemed like you guys kind of went back to old habits in this game?
Well, we've never really let go of the old habits. We keep trying to play individual ball, man. It just doesn't work. And I think tonight they understand that because I'm hearing the chatter in the locker room now. It took for this loss for them to understand. They think that we're going to just walk on the court and beat people because we have. And then you got a 17-year-old and a newly turned 18-year-old that doesn't understand that you can't take people lightly, and that comes from the veterans letting them know, hey, we got to play, and our veterans have been doing a poor job of being leaders in that from that aspect, and again, that falls back on me at the end of the day.
Why do you think there's a disconnect between what you teach in your group in practice and then them applying it in games?
I think it's just the disease of me. You know, wanting to get off, wanting to be the guy to take the shots to help the team win or whatever it is. And I think that doesn't happen in practice because we can stop the play. Say, hey, we're not doing that. And like I said, I'm not going to blame it on my kids because they can't do anything without me allowing them to do it. And I'm going to get better. Our staff's going to get better. We're going to continue to push. But I think I know this loss cut them deep because they thought we were just going to walk out on the floor and beat Iowa State, and it just doesn't work that way.
I think we'll finish up with 3 more. Jason, Terry, and then this gentleman.
Hey, Benny, you've listed a number of things that you feel like contributed to this loss. Do you have like a list of priorities, like what you want to address in order? Like, is there one thing that's kind of at the top of the list for when you guys get back together?
Yeah, we definitely got to move the ball from side to side. I just don't understand that we just got to move the ball from side to side and move ourselves. It seems like when it gets to everybody's hand, each person feels like they have a mismatch, and each person tries to drive the ball. I can see if you're driving the ball to make a play. So the first things first, before we go to Georgia, is we're going to get some movement with the basketball. It doesn't matter what you run, because they ran the same offense we ran, for the most part. And when we went to it, they switched properly, were physical. When they ran it, we looked discombobulated, and we practiced against it all the time. We knew exactly what they were running. And at the end of the at the shot clock, they just ran a high ball screen or a one-on-one, and got the edge on us there.
How much of that do you think is the sort of, I guess, not lack of a lead guard, but just sort of the butt committee thing?
I'm like, obviously you would love to have a lead guard that's controlled, that's solid, and Alex does that for the most part defensively. And as a group, I thought collectively we'd be able to handle it offensively, because we're a pretty good defensive team. Offensively, we've been struggling since game one, and hadn't we pushed with the turnovers that we were forcing early, and we weren't getting over 100 points. It was concerning. And then you get into a game like this, and you don't move the ball. The way our offense is set, it's kind of like positionless offense. It just kind of moves from side to side. And at the end of the shot clock, you got the ball in your best player's hands, and we just got to make those plays.
Hey, Coach, you only have 3 days until you go to your first true road game, going to a hostile environment. How do you turn the page to correct your mistakes and improve on it so you can get your first, get a win on the road?
Yeah, you just regroup from this. You're going to see so many areas on the tape that you had opportunities, and you got to credit them because, man, they were swarming. That's the type of defense that we play when we're on, the way that they play tonight, and we're going to look at the tape and see what we did wrong, and then we're going to make the adjustments and be ready for Georgia. I mean, that's all we can do.
Coach Anthony Gilbert, ESPN The Undefeated. I want to talk to you as a former player and as a coach. What are some of the things that you learned professionally, developmentally, personally in your final season with the Tigers? And what are those things that you're trying to express now?
You mean when I played?
Yes, sir.
My last year was we lost the first round of the NCAA, and the year before we went to the Elite Eight. So the difference between those two teams, which is being together, we were kind of individuals in that year, my junior year, and we had guys that were really trying to, do too much instead of just staying within the schemes. And that's what I learned. And then personally, you got to know that to win, you got to do it together. That's what I learned when I was in college. And it's the same thing now as a coach. They don't believe it because there's so much social media. There's so much hype on teams that are in the top 10. There's so much extra media availability when you're doing well, and everybody starts to see either I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and I need to continue to do it, or if I'm not getting enough, then I need to do more. But it's never the mindset of doing it together. It's almost like they want to do it by themselves, and we'll learn from this. I'm built for this. I'm built for opportunities to get better. I've been here before in games like this. It sucks because I felt like we were really prepared for this game. And when the game started, they showed who was more prepared. And I just have to, we're going to get back and do the same things we've been doing, but we're going to stress certain things. The non-negotiables are non-negotiables now. It doesn't matter what group is on the floor. We just got to get the group on the floor that's going to have some chemistry and that's going to move the ball. And then we can get the ball. If we don't score in that first 15 seconds, get the ball into a high ball screen, get downhill and make plays for each other. And I think we'll be okay.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And what did you look for in the first round?